Hello, guys. On today's episode, you're going to learn how to deal with a toxic person and really those that you should cut off, those that you can just manage, and all of that. So, we're going to be talking about that. Remember my former video, if you haven't seen it, please check my videos. You'd see where I talked about how to identify a toxic person. So, if you know who they are, if you know this person in your life is very toxic, the next thing is what are you going to do about it? Are you just going to sit back and let them toxify your life, or you're going to cut them off, or you learn how to manage it? So, that's what we're going to be talking about. So watch out for more after the break. I'll be right back. All right, guys, you're welcome back. And before I begin, I'd like to say a very big thank you to every one of you who have been commenting on my videos, who have been sharing, and also those of you who don't even wait for me to post a video. You're already sending me messages like, okay, Evelyn, what's next? What are you doing next? And all of that. I really appreciate the support. Don't worry, when the money is big, we'll be sharing it. I'm doing giveaways and all of that. And I'm looking forward to partnerships and all of that. But all of that good stuff. Okay, so like I said earlier, we're going to be talking about how to manage a toxic person. I mean, managing a toxic person is very draining. I mean, talking about it is actually draining already, because why would somebody want to leave your life where you're trying to manage somebody, you're trying to make sure that you don't hurt yourself by being associated with this person and all of that. It's a lot of work, honestly. But anyways, we're in this world, so we have to do what we have to do, right? Okay, so the first thing based on managing a toxic person is you need to be very sure about how this person makes you feel. How bad is it really? You need to think about it. I know we live in a society, or we live in a world where every little thing it is, let us cut off, let us cut off, let us cut off. Now you need to think about it. Does this person really make me feel that bad, or I'm just exaggerating? Because sometimes you might just be exaggerating. Sometimes it might just be you reflecting something that is about you and not really about the person. So you need to be really sure that this person is toxic. You need to be really sure about how this person makes you feel, so that you can be able to find out what and how you should actually manage the situation. The next thing is, like I said in my other video, a lot of these toxic people, they don't have all the traits, but they have like major, maybe 3-4 here and all. So there are actually some who do not give you so much drama. I don't think I mentioned this in my last episode. Yeah, one of the traits of a toxic person, I think I should just add this here, is they give you so much drama when you try to communicate with them. Like every time you try to tell them what they did wrong, it is not a peaceful conversation. You always see them trying to shout, trying to be on the defensive. They're always trying to do this and that just to make sure that you do not hit your point, and they do not see, or you do not point out how they're wrong, So if you are relating with a kind of toxic person who doesn't actually do all that drama. Another thing is, a lot of people who are toxic don't even know that they're toxic. They're not, like, they did not actually plan to hurt you or hurt your feelings. That is just who they are. So they necessarily do not know. So that is why this next point is really important. Try to talk to them. Tell them how their relationship with you and how they act makes you feel. Sometimes if you don't tell them, they do not know. And you just keep acting, and you just find out that you're cutting off somebody who did not even, you just find out that they just start telling everybody that this person cut me off and I do not know why. And that's because they do not know what they're doing wrong. So sometimes it's actually good that you go ahead and tell them, listen, this is how I feel about what you do to me, and I do not like it. I think you should work on this, or else you're going to lose the friendship. And if the friendship is really important to them, you see them putting efforts to make sure that it is managed and it is stopped, because they know that they're hurting you. And these are for the reasonable ones, the ones that don't necessarily know that they're hurting you, or they don't know that they're toxic. Like when I talked about my last video, I also said that if you're the one, you need to work on it, because some people do not know. I actually saw some things that I talked about that I need to work on my own, So so for the ones that do not necessarily know what they're doing wrong, you can actually talk to them about it, and then they'll see if they're going to change. And if they don't change, then you can take steps to saying, you know what, I don't want to be friends with this person anymore, and I don't want to be in this relationship, right? The next thing is you need to learn to put yourself first. Don't ever be in a position where you're trying to hurt yourself because you're trying to manage a situation. That should be at the back of your mind for every relationship that you're in. You are number one. Yeah, I know that there are times where you have to show up for a friend, defend a friend, and all of that. But when you're putting that at your own detriment, you're at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to be hurt. I always say you're the one feeling the feelings. So somebody doesn't necessarily have to tell you how to act when you are feeling a particular bad feeling. So learn to put yourself first. every time that you're having a conversation with them, that's the first thing you think about. Am I putting myself first? Am I jeopardizing myself? Am I hurting myself by managing this situation? If your answer is yes to all these questions, then you know you need to walk away. You need to cut out from that relationship. It's not a relationship that you should be in, or that is when you should say no to a particular offer from them or a suggestion from them and all of that. So you have to think about it. Put yourself first in that situation. Put yourself first in that offer. Are you actually hurting yourself, jeopardizing yourself when you are in that situation? If your answer is yes, then you totally have to cut that person off. The next thing is you need to limit your association with them. For those of you who don't feel very comfortable cutting them off, you might just need to limit your association with them. Maybe if they're your colleagues and every time they need to get lunch, you have to go with them, maybe you should start saying no. I don't want to eat today. I don't want to eat at this time, or I want to eat from someplace else. Just always make sure that you're not in that environment where they have to do what they do to you, because some people don't know how to cut off. But when you start to limit your time with them, they get the message and then they cut off themselves by themselves. So that is one of the things that you can do. Another thing is you need to set boundaries. Know where, what, and how. Know what they can do to you, know where they can do this to you, and know how they do this to you. You need to set these boundaries, and sometimes you have to be vocal about these boundaries and say, you know what, I don't want you to say never talk to me like that again. You need to be bold about things like this. Like I said earlier, a lot of these toxic people, they know the people that they prey on, and so they know that sometimes it's the quiet people that they always try to do these kind of things to. But when you start to become bold and you set those boundaries, and they can see that you already know the things that they're doing, and then you're cutting it short, you're making sure that they don't continue to do those kind of things to you, then they will definitely adjust. Trust me, when they see that you can stand on your own and you're not falling prey to any of the tactics, they will definitely sit up. So that's one of the things that you can do. The next thing is learn to say no. I always say this in almost every video. A lot of you don't know how to say no. Anybody that says they want to do anything with you or for you or with you, you're just open to it because you do not know how to say no, even when it's hurting you. Learn to say no to situations. Learn to say no to these people. Listen, I would repeat it. When these people understand that you don't take that nonsense like you take anymore, they will adjust. Sometimes they would even become better people. They might not walk away from you because they know you're a good friend. They'd actually just adjust and become better people because they know that this person is not taking this nonsense anymore. And then they find some other person that they start to inflict that pain on. But you need to learn how to set boundaries, limit your association with them, say no to them as much as possible, put yourself first, share these ideas with them, not ideas to go, but just talk to them about it, tell them how you feel, and make sure that you're sure of the feeling that you're getting before you do any of these things. Sometimes you need to stop expecting change from these people. That's my next point. Stop expecting change from these people. Stop expecting that they're going to change, because the more you keep expecting change, the more they keep hurting you, or the more you keep giving them an opportunity to hurt you. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of people still stay in toxic relationships, because you are just expecting that change. Go somewhere else and expect the change. You don't have to be around them to expect that change. And the final thing is just cut them off. When you see that you have tried everything, you tried to manage the situation and it's not working, cut them off. You don't need them in your life, because why would you be trying so hard to keep somebody who is constantly inflicting pain? That means there's something wrong with you, honestly. So as much as possible, cut them off. It is that simple, and that is all. That is actually how you handle a toxic person. And I say again, very big thank you to all of you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Please do well to comment. If you have more ideas as to how to manage or cancel a toxic person, please do well to comment and let us hear your ideas. I like to read it and also learn. And do well to subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe, and also share this video, share the links, let people watch and learn as well. Trust me, we're living in a world where there's a lot of toxic people. A lot of people are really looking for ways to make sure that they're not in this position, and it's good that we give them options as to how to handle the situation, and I hope that I've been able to do that today. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'll be seeing you again on my next episode. I can't even say here what I'll be talking about. It's just as it comes. But anyway, see you in my next episode. Thank you for joining me, and have a very, 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 very great day ahead. Bye-bye for now.